And your Season 3 Stanley Cup champions, the Carolina Hurricanes. The Syracuse Crunch winning the Calder Cup trophy. We're going to take a look, once we stop the simulation, take a look at the playoff tree. And the cap has gone up by, I think, about like 2 million. So the maximum cap has gone up by roughly 2 million ahead of Season 4. The playoff tree and how we got there. Ooh, Phoenix made the Stanley Cup final. They did make the Stanley Cup final with Patrick Kane. They got beaten in 5 games by Carolina. How did the Hurricanes get there? They went through the Islanders, they went through the Blue Jackets, and the Toronto Maple Leafs. They played 7 games, 6 games, 6 games, 5 in the final. Phoenix, on their way to the Stanley Cup final, 4 games, blasted through Anaheim, or 5 games rather, and in 5 games they blasted through Vancouver, went through Winnipeg in 6 games. Oh, Winnipeg, the Coyotes who... It's so weird because you have the Coyotes playing the Jets, who of course moved from Winnipeg, the original Winnipeg Jets, that is. And there's a look at just the bracket on the east side and the bracket on the west side, and the Stanley Cup winner Carolina Hurricanes. Actually, kind of curious about what this Hurricanes roster looks like. Well, I can't view lines, but I can go in the contract screen for the Stanley Cup champion Carolina Hurricanes. Jeff Skinner, 91 overall at 24 years of age. Eric Stahl, 88 overall. Semin, 87. Jordan Stahl, Justin Falk, Tim Gleason, Pitkinen. I mean, overall wise, it's a decent roster. But I can tell you, the Hurricanes of the real world at this time were nowhere near contending for a Stanley Cup. Not even close. But yeah, there's your Stanley Cup champions, and I'm going to guess that Cam Ward is still here, just scrolling back up through the skaters, and the goaltender for the Carolina Hurricanes had to be Cam Ward. Yeah, he's just great in this game. In fact, he's about to be an unrestricted free agent. Obviously, I'm kind of ride or die with Carey Price, and Cam Ward is 32 years old as well, as this contract expires ahead of what season are we in anymore? I don't even know what year we're in. His contract expires after the 15-16 season. It is June 18, 20. It's in the lower left corner if I paid any attention. So that means that he's an upcoming UFA this season, this off season. Cam Ward will reach UFA status. Whether Carolina re-signs him or not, that's up to them. That's their business. They drafted Pouliot, I thought, in this GM mode. Yeah, back in 2013, Bolton Pouliot with the 5th overall pick, and they go. Sorry, the light in my ceiling fan is flickering. That was weird, and it's got me totally distracted. But anyway, I guess we'll pull up the scouting report. By the way, I have had quite a time with recording. I'm going to have quite a time with editing, because what has happened to me is I was simulating ahead, and this is not in the video, by the way. I don't think this will be in the video when I edit this down, but I got fired by the Canadiens. Now, it's a really good thing that this game does an autosave, because with the autosave, I could just load in, because I was simulating through the playoffs when I got fired, and I can load in before I got fired and just resim through the offseason. For some reason, GM firing, a setting that you can turn off or turn on, was accidentally on, and I thought I had turned off GM firing, but it was on for some reason, and I got fired. Don't worry, we're still the general manager of the Montreal Canadiens. And in fact, my contract was re-upped in the offseason as we were simulating through. But now we're looking at prospects and what we have scouted. This is what my scouting report is showing me. Lucas Voivoda, another center, is available. But I thought there was a defenseman there's a bunch of defensemen available. I don't think we're going to get Voivoda. I think Voivoda is going to be off the board by the time we take our pick. But there are other good players. There's Alexander Barchuk, Alexander Babchuk, Puistula. Didn't we have Puistula with the Calgary Flames? I thought that name looks so familiar to me. Ivan Dadonov of Estonia, a top 10 pick, and he is, what is he? He's a defenseman, so there's a good D pick there. Mike Volk, Mikko Rantanen. The Mikko Rantanen draft year, projected at 2 gold star though. I don't think we've scouted him much, so I don't think we have an accurate read on Mikko Rantanen. Read Legwand down the list. Just going down the list of all the players we've skated and the projected first-round picks. Just the first-round picks I'm worried about. There's a goaltender in here that I created, by the way. His name is Cale McClellan. He's projected to go in the top 5. Now, I know we got Carey Price, who is going to turn 28 in the next season. And I'm ride or die. I said it. I'm ride or die with Carey Price. He's going to be the guy that I believe in to carry this team. But there's also a Jonathan Cope, who is not a created player of mine. This is a player created by the game for the draft class, not by me. And he's a goaltender projected to go in the top 5. Cale McClellan is my created goaltender that I made for this GM mode. Then there's Sorokins. We don't have a good read on him. I'm guessing probably because we haven't scouted him at all. And he's projected to go in the top 5. So there's a few goaltenders projected to go in the top 5. There's a lot of potential. If you have a top 10 draft pick, you're probably going to get a really good player in this draft. Seems like a strong draft class to choose from. And with that being said, I don't know if this is the end of the video, but just in case this is where I want to end this video before we go into the actual offseason, I think that's what I'm going to do. Honestly, I'm all over the place because I've had to do much of the second half simulation in multiple video parts because I keep getting interrupted by things. But we're going to just take a look at the contract situation before I end this video, see who's an upcoming UFA, and then we can, of course, take care of this in the offseason. Now, still signed long-term. We got these guys are locked up. Subban is locked up long-term. Pacioretty's still locked up for, a lot of seasons, so he's not anywhere near UFA status. Duchesne is not near UFA status yet. Hedman's an upcoming RFA, but that's not a problem for me. I should have the cap space to easily sign Hedman. But he is going to ask for a pay raise. But I told you, we wanted that stud defender. We got it in Victor Hedman. We're going to have to re-sign him. We traded for him from Tampa Bay and moved out Georges and Plekanec in order to get him. Louis LeBlanc, this guy's grown tremendously. He's also 25. The age of this team is really good right now with its best players. 27 years old, 25 years old there at Duchesne. 25 years old, 25 years old, 28 with Marchand, 27 with Eller. So a team that's not young, but not old either. It's just in that ripe age to continue to contend for Stanley Cups. I think we got a good thing built here with the Canadiens. Boychuk has been on the older side, 32 years old, and we re-signed him. So he'll have 2 more years on that deal after this offseason is done. He'll have the 16-17 season and the 17-18 season, and then we can move on from him. Gallagher, disappointing that he hasn't grown any more than he has so far. Maybe he does grow, but it's later in his career before he sees that bump. Who knows? Simon Jalmerson. So yeah, there's not a lot of UFAs. Weston's a UFA, but that's AHL material. So my UFAs, it looks like, are mostly bottom 6 players like Prust or AHL depth defensemen. So this should be a pretty easy offseason coming up. Sukai Ming, that should slide another year because he played in junior. He's a 77 overall at 20 years old, having spent another year down in junior. He should be NHL capable next year. He'll be my third line center for next year is what I'm anticipating. Something like that. Third or second line center. Well, actually third line center because we got LeBlanc right now. Although I'm thinking once Sukai Ming is good enough, we just move Louis LeBlanc. There's LeBlanc. We move Louis LeBlanc to the wing, and this is why. Face-off 63 rating for face-offs. What is Sukai Ming? I got to look at Sukai Ming's face-off abilities before he's even really grown. He is currently, at 20 years old, has an 80 face... Yeah, there you go. 80 face-off rating. Sukai Ming is basically your second-line center. We could have a really solid top 6 with this because we could move LeBlanc to the wing. And LeBlanc has a great shooting category. I'm going to go back to LeBlanc. Just let me scroll back up to LeBlanc so I can show his shooting category and explain my thought processes here. So here's LeBlanc. He has a 5-star shooting category. He has a 4.5 puck skills category, high senses, good defense. I mean, he's just all around a great player. The only thing is He is a bit on the smaller side at 6 feet 180, and that shows in his physical category. He doesn't really do a lot of physical play, but I don't need him to. He can basically be on the wing, and then Sukai Ming, second line center, whatever it is, whatever the future holds for this team. And you can have a really great top six of Pacioretty, Duchesne, Marchand, LeBlanc, Sukai Ming, and then whoever ends up filling in on the wing next to those guys. But those are 5 players that are absolutely going to be in this team's top 6 of the future. So should that just about do it? Wrap up contracts, wrap up the video. Here's the video that gets uploaded. I'm going to continue recording, and then this recording session will get split in editing into another video in which I will upload the entire off-season process separately. So I'll see you there on the other side when we get to the off-season. Welcome to the off-season. We left you here at the contract screen. We pick up the off-season in this brand new video with the retired players screen. Patrick Marleau ends his career as an Anaheim Duck, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this. The players that are retiring are getting to be less and less noticeable as well as we go on. But a great career for Marleau. Olli Jokinen with Winnipeg, Jovanovski, Wade Redden, Regeer, Tanguay, Robidaw. Tanguay retires a Cup champion with the Hurricanes. Simon Gagne. Where was Simon Gagne? Was on our Flames team in the GM mode, wasn't he? He retires as a Duck. Jesus Dupuis with Phoenix. Got to the Stanley Cup final with Phoenix, but lost. Tony Lidman wins with Carolina. Eric Cole on Tampa Bay. Andre Markov still didn't retire until now. So he's just now retiring. Spent the year with Winnipeg, apparently. Brian Gionta, our former captain of our team, ends his career with the Tampa Bay Lightning. We let him go because he was getting too old. And just down the list we go. It continues to see the names continue to be less and less noticeable as we go down the list here. Derek England, he is going to be off the squad, obviously calling it a career after 375 games. I don't even know how old England was, but that information is in a previous video, any of the previous videos in this series that has his age and his contract information on it. So those are all the skaters that retired. Goaltenders was right there. I skipped it. Just 2 goaltenders, 2 noticeable goaltenders, pretty much. Really one noticeable goaltender in Nick Backstrom from the Minnesota Wild, so they will have to fill that void in Minnesota. Matthew Garon, who at one point in time he was a Tampa Bay Lightning goaltender, he retires as a free agent. And Michael Leighton with 174 games played. Shall we begin the entry draft? I will have an undetermined amount of phones to work with. Top four pick. So we had the 4th overall pick in this draft. I would really, if I had, I could have held on to a player, but I had to get that deal done to get Hedman here. But if I had only moved one player in the Georges and Plekanec trade, I could potentially use one of those guys to fetch me a pick somewhere in this first round. So there's the draft order. Dallas has the 1st overall pick. Sorry, Boston, but you don't get the 1st overall pick this year. And then Washington obviously picking ahead of us. Where is... Phoenix must have traded. So I was looking over there at 29th and 30th overall. Phoenix must have traded their pick this year to the St. Louis Blues. Absolutely worth it to get to the Stanley Cup final, I guess. Would you say so? Anyway, how many phones do I have? I have 2 phones. Oh my God, man. I keep getting screwed over every single year with these phones. They take one away every single year. I seem to lose at least one phone. So I'm just going to look at potential players that we could deal in order to get a draft pick. But to be honest, I mean, Lars Eller is kind of tempting. But to be honest with you, I'm not really looking to move any of my roster players. I might package a prospect like Lehkonen and a pick to try to get some kind of a first-round pick in the later first round. But we'll see here. Okay, I'm going to try to get I'm basically trying to move up my second-round pick this year. You know what? Could I even do better? Maybe move next year's... Oh, I don't have next year. I already traded next year's second, didn't I? Maybe try to move up in the draft here. By trading up this year, is it worth it to trade the 34? I'm going to try to move the second round pick this year, the 34th overall for the 16th overall pick, by sending the Chicago Blackhawks Lehkonen, a second round pick this year, Nathan Beaulieu. Now, Beaulieu he is not growing the way that I may end up regretting this, but he's not growing very quickly right now. And I'm just really on the verge of deciding to move Beaulieu, move on from the player. Remember, we signed him to that long 5-year deal at 1.220. That's a steal, Chicago. How do you say no to that? And then, of course, the 5th round pick, the 124th overall, just kind of a throw in to try to add some value Chicago's way. Will Chicago agree to this trade? We can replace Beaulieu with a free agent defenseman easily. We got to try it. I think we got to get some good assets here in this draft. Throw more darts at the board here. Will Chicago agree? They say no due to the contract of Lehkonen expiring. Okay, well, that means we're out on that. We are not going to risk it. I'm just shutting the phones down. Not going to happen. Players are already off the board, and now we have choices to make. Oh, boy. We have real decisions to make right now. Sorokin's, Cope, and Babchuk. Cope, the goaltender, off the board. Oh, man, this is tough. That means Voivoda is available. The center, Lucas Voivoda, my created player, is available. But so is Cale McClellan. Cale McClellan is also available, the goaltender. Now, I kind of wish I'd traded Fucali now. But I don't know. There's so many players to choose from. I think you take the best player available in the draft, and I think based on scouting that's going to be Lucas Voivoda, the Czech center. We scouted him one time, but I know he's going to be a good player. Puistila from Finland. We had not scouted him, but so we don't have a read on him because we never scouted him at all. Valk, one scouting visit. Mikko Rantanen, I don't think we scouted Rantanen at all. And then Ivan Dadonov, we have 3 visits. He's going to be a pretty decent player. I mean, there's going to be good players. You're going to get good players. Any decent players waiting? Yeah, there's players that could fall to the second round, so we could get some players with the second round pick. Maybe I can trade up to get a pick in the second round, move up my pick in the second round. But anyway, I think we take the best player available, and for me, that is Lucas Voivoda. You can never have too many good centers. The grinder from the Czech Republic, playing out of Barrie in the OHL. Lucas Voivoda, you are a Montreal Canadian. We made the pick. Cale McClellan goes off the board right after that to the San Jose Sharks. So good names going off the board already. Mikko Rantanen to the Stars, Mikko Rantanen to the Devils, Dadonov to the Dallas Stars, and we can just quick sim the rest of this round. We did. We quick sim the rest of that round. So I knew we were not going to get Cale McClellan. I'm not really worried about goaltending. I'm ride or die with Carey Price. There just wouldn't be a spot. I guess Cale McClellan, it would take him a while to grow, so you got to think about that because he is a goaltender, and goalies take a while to grow in this game. By the time he's ready, Carey Price could well be retired, so that probably could have been the better pick, was to take McClellan, but we took Voivoda because he was on the board. We took Voivoda. The tank job paid off at the end of the season. I got to take a picture of this because I got to pay attention to how good all these players are when we get to the contracts situation. So I'm not going to trade because we got that high second round pick, so I'm not going to trade up or anything like that. The names that are available here will be who they are. It'll be whoever it is. So there's not really any goaltenders, I think, at this point. We're actually going to do this. Should we do this by potential or by projected? I'm going to sort it by potential. And I actually had it the right way around there. So, yeah, there's not a whole lot available here. I think we need to draft a defenseman with this pick, though. I do want to look at what goalies are available. Goaltenders. Yeah, there's just not a whole lot of anything that blows my mind here. So I was shocked to find that at least a couple of my created players were available and moved to the 3rd-year draft. But Russell Glenncross is the defender that stands out to me. We have a good read on him on scouting, so we're going to take Russell Glenncross, the American out of Barrie of the OHL as well, teammates with Voivoda. We take 2 Barrie Colt players with our first 2 picks in the Season 4 draft. This is the Season 4 draft already, so we can quick sim that round. And at this point, we can quick sim the rest of the draft, to be honest with you. We don't have a 3rd round pick. Do we have a 4th Oh, well, I can't tell you if we have a fourth, but we'll just continue. I don't know if we have a fourth. I don't really care if we have a fourth. We're just going to auto-sim the rest of the draft. So, yep. And we'll take a quick review of rounds 1 through 7, but going backwards from round 7, there are the round 7 picks in front of you, all those names. If any of these names come up on any of these other teams in the future, we can at least reference this video and be like, oh, I remember when that guy got drafted in the 5th round or whatever, and he really became something. So, oh, there's that Nick Ehlers. The Nick Ehlers go to the Washington Capitals there. And we didn't have a 3rd round pick, of course. We know that. 2nd round, 1st round. So the names we got to look at: Sorokins, Cope, Babchuk, Voivoda, McClellan. I also want to see Puistola with the LA Kings. Maybe even look at Volk with the Minnesota Wild. So 7 players for sure to look at. I'm also curious about Dadonov because it looked like he had some good potential on him when we were in that draft screen. So we know our contract situation. The biggest thing is Victor Hedman. Just getting Victor Hedman contract completed, getting him re-signed. So getting that deal done will be the biggest concern for me of the offseason, and also leaving cap space on the table to potentially go sign a decent free agent defenseman or two. We're gonna need to handpick well, no, we kept Beaulieu around, didn't we? We don't necessarily need to we maybe need one free agent defenseman because we didn't trade Beaulieu, which is fine with me. It's just he's so slow to grow. But anyway, I want to look at let's go over the drafted players first. That's the first thing that I'm concerned with. We know for a fact that with us, I don't know how this is going to work out. If I sort it by overall and then go down, there's Lucas Voivoda. 70 overall at 18 is very impressive. But I think he might go back down to junior for a year, which is fine with me. Wow, he's a better center than LeBlanc is in terms of face-off rating. So he's already got a good face-off rating. This is going to be... We're building an interesting team here. We're building a team of centers is what we're doing. We could have a really good 1, 2, 3 punch at center. Again, we just keep drafting centers, but it's fine with me drafting a center because you can always move them to the wing. And maybe that's not the ideal thing to do, but it's a problem that will easily solve itself. I wanted to look at was it Dallas? It was Dallas, and they drafted Sorokins, who was he a goaltender? He must have been a goaltender. He was the goaltender. 52 overall at 19. I'm first overall pick in the draft. There you go, right upper right-hand corner there to prove it to you. 2016 first overall pick. A butterfly goaltender. I think Dallas missed on this one. I think they missed. They missed the better goaltender of the two. Their scouting department let them down, or maybe they just threw that dart at the board. But Cale McClellan, you're going to see it in a moment. He's going to be a way better goaltender. 19 years of age, so we got to keep some of these stats in mind for this goalie. 52 overall at 19 years old, 3.5 Green Star potential. So I got to keep that in my mind for when we go look at Cale McClellan. And there you go, Cale McClellan. Interesting first name, right? Interesting spelling on that. So we said 19 years old for the other goaltender that Dallas took. 3.5 Green Star potential, 52 overall. Cale McClellan is 69 overall, 18 years of age, and 4.5 Gold Star potential. Boy, do the San Jose Sharks have a great goalie here. I don't know what their goalie situation, Niemi retired, I think. So who do they got there? They got Hiller now, and they got Grice. That's going to be a really nice up-and-coming goalie that at 69 overall at 18, I mean, it may be just 1 or 2 seasons, and he'll be in the NHL net for the San Jose Sharks in a couple of years. And since we're here, Tampa Bay was, for some reason, automatically given my other created goaltender, Kolzak Nikitin, the 58 overall, 18 years of age, 5 Red Star potential goalie, who, of course, was not drafted. For some reason, was not put into the draft, and he was automatically given to the Tampa Bay Lightning. And there it is, Jonathan Cope, taken at 2nd overall behind the Dallas Stars in this most recent draft for Season 4. Yeah, the Stars missed on their pick. The Bruins get a great goalie as well, 71 overall. 19 years old. I mean, but Cale McClellan's going to be a better goaltender than this guy because he was 69 overall at 18. 4.5 gold star potential. Going to be a very good goaltender, though, here in Boston. There could be Boston's building something. I'm going to tell you right now. They got this goalie. And I'm going to show you the Bruins here because we traded them Dalton Thrower. Who did we give to Boston? Boston has Rene Bourque, but Bourque is... he's a UFA and he's probably on the verge of retirement, but that kind of helps them get some veteran presence in the locker room, right? And on the ice. I'm looking at right wingers. I need to be looking at all skaters. What am I doing? But they got Tyler Seguin. They said that we didn't trade for Tyler Seguin here in this one. Dougie Hamilton on the blue line. Roland McEwen is a potential up-and-coming defenseman. When did they draft McEwen? 2015 draft? 2014 draft, 9th overall. Roland McEwen will help them. I mean, he was a pretty good defenseman for the San Jose Sharks when we ran into the San Jose Sharks in the, the Calgary Flames GM mode. I was looking for who we sent them. They got Desharnais there as well. They picked up Alexei Yemelin. So they just got a bunch of former Habs on this Bruins roster. But they got, I'm looking specifically prospect-wise. Oh, wait, didn't we get Caron in the Calgary GM mode? So many names that I recognize. I'm like, where do I recognize some of these players from? Trying to pay attention to who's a good young prospect that might turn into something. McEwen, obviously, then Dalton Thrower. Might just be one of those guys that's really slow to grow. It may take him a while. He's 22. We picked him in the 51st, or in the second round with the 51st overall pick in 2012. We traded him to Boston in one of those deals that we made. Even though they lost Boychuk to us, they do get the younger defenseman, but just slow to grow is what I'm going to assume there. If he turns into something, Boston will be very happy with that. And man, look at this goalie situation brewing in Nashville. They have Hellberg, Honey, backing up Pecorine. This Nashville team has a good thing going on in the net. Brennan down there as well, waiting to grow at 22 years of age with a 3.5 gold star potential. He might turn into a little bit of something. And there's Philadelphia that drafted Noah Yosin with the 2nd overall pick in 2014. And he's going to be a unit in that goal crease for the Philadelphia Flyers. Washington took Alexander Babchuk, with the 3rd overall pick in this 2016 Season 4 draft. And I don't know. There's just nothing really to be said here based on the potential and the projection here. Maybe not likely to really be a stud. I mean, when you got a top 5 pick and you miss on it, you missed out on a stud. They potentially missed out on one here in Washington. Then Timo Puistila from the LA Kings, taken by LA with the 6th overall pick. They nailed this one as well. They nailed this pick. The right wing sniper to the Los Angeles Kings. That's going to be a really good player. Volk to Minnesota, the American defenseman, 20 years old, 7th overall pick in this Season 4 draft. Not a terrible pick here at the 7th overall. I mean, there's not a whole lot there that you can do at that draft position. I think they did a pretty good job with this. Last one I'm going to look at, Jaden Lang to the Avalanche. They did even better than Dallas did, in my opinion, here with their goaltender selection. And they had, the 8th overall pick. This is the last player I'm going to look at, and we'll just go right into contracts negotiations. So main concern right up front, it's Victor Hedman. We got to give him a new deal. We're not going to tender anything. We're going to give him the new contract. We have, how much cap space do I have to work with before I go offering people money? 21.6. I'm more than happy to get Hedman. And what if we go long-term with Hedman? Like, if I want to go long-term, 8 years, at 6.5, that's not bad. We wouldn't be paying him that much more money. Is it the 80-something% rule? I can save so much money with Hedman, giving him that long 8-year deal. I can go down to like 5.2 something. I'm going to go 5.4, 8 years. 5.4 million, 8 years. We can always come back to the table with more money if Hedman rejects this. Now, it may take him a couple of days to get back to me, but I want Victor Hedman to be here long term. This is that stud defenseman on that top pairing that I want. So that's one free agent done. It was an RFA. Weston is 26, but I mean, he serves as a good, depth call-up option. Oh yeah, he's making that minor league money. That's fine with me. Depth D, man. Need that depth defenseman. Poisty. Same thing. That's a little bit of money, man. For a guy playing in the AHL, no. And I can't shave much money off of that. I mean, I can come down a little bit. I'm gonna come down. You know, I'm gonna give Poisty. I'll offer you. You're 27. I'll give you 3 years. I'll give you more term, but I'm gonna come all the way down. Literally $1 million contract, something like that. You know, close to $1 million contract, 3 years. Say no to it if you want. I don't care. It's your contract offer to decide on. Koska, please be cheap. That's an easy cheap one with Koska. Plus is already dropping off. He's a 78 overall now. He was an 80, I think, overall. Strawman 29. If it's cheap, it's easy. Oh, it's easy. It's so easy. Kamayev. Yeah, this Denny Kamayev, man. How did we get this guy? What is this guy from? When did we draft Kamayev? 22 years old, 2013, 55th overall pick in the second round. Just kind of came out of nowhere as a 77 overall player at 22 years old with that 3.5 Red Star potential player. I mean, he just could be really good depth for us, especially if he grows throughout the offseason. We'll see what happens there. Gilroy, defenseman again, 31 years old. I'm just going to look at what money he wants, but I'm going to just let this guy go to free agency. Dale Weiss. I'll bring that back, Dale Weiss, on a cheap deal. Yeah. Ryan White on another cheap deal, but man, White is falling off. 76 overall now. But again, you can be in the AHL. Thank you for your services to the Canadiens, but you can stick around on a minor league contract. I'm giving Voivoda an entry-level contract. I just gave Voivoda an ELC, so we're waiting to hear back for him to be signed. He's probably going to go back to junior, is what I'm going to anticipate with Voivoda. He goes back to junior for another season, and it's not a big deal what happens down there in the AHL. So a lot of these guys we can kind of cut free from. Kohlberg, because he's got the potential, I'm going to just tender the offer to Kohlberg because he's got the potential. We'll let Dietz go. Arturi Lehkonen, you're not going to become anything. We got to sign Draisaitl because he's a UFA, so we're going to just go ahead and give Draisaitl the ELC. Man, I forgot about Nicky Petty. Didn't we take him in the second round? First round, 19th overall pick. In what draft? The 2015 draft. So, and he's not really looking like he's going to turn into much of anything. I kind of threw a dart at the board on that one. I know price is not an issue for 2 more seasons, so price isn't an issue for 2 more seasons. Elliott for this year can be the backup one more time. Budai and Montoya. Fucali is signed, but Fucali's not ready, so I'm just going to go ahead and give Montoya a new deal for 1 more year to be the AHL guy, and Budai, you can be an AHL guy for, 2 more years. Because, you know, what's going to happen is if Fucali is ever truly ready, he'll play behind Budai or something like that in the AHL. If he grows over the next couple of seasons, I'm fine with bringing Budai back on 2 years deal. We'll just see where it goes from there. So we can now begin accelerating the days. All right, good. Montoya's back. We got 14 guys to pay attention to here. Montoya renewed. Budai renewed. Drewiski renewed. Ryan White renewed. Strawman. Hedman rejected it. I was clear on how long I wanted to stick with the team, but you've chosen to offer something different. I can understand you want some flexibility there, but you haven't made it worth my while financially. So if I'm going to give him that term, he's basically saying, if you want to give me 8 years, you got to give me more money. And I went down to, I forgot what I went down to already. I got it right here. Yeah, I think I went down to like 5.3 or something. We're going to have to go to like 5.6 million to Hedman by 8 years. See if he likes that. Dale Weiss, he agreed to a new contract. Blunden renewed. Squaler's good. Koska good. Poisty rejected. What did I offer him? I don't remember what I offered Poisty, but anyway, I don't really care. I mean, you're 79 overall. I can easily get depth in the free agent pool instead of Poisty, so good. Voivoda signed his ELC. Leon Draisaitl signed his ELC. I had to with the potential there. Yes, 57 overall, but the potential for Draisaitl is there. So we got to go back to Victor Hedman here. We went down, we went low. If I go 8 years, now I'm thinking I got to go closer to like 5.6, maybe closer to 5.7, 5.6, 5.7 million to get Hedman on that. I'm going to try this 5.68 million. 8 years. We have plenty of time to make these negotiations, but we are running out of days here. And I'm so glad Hedman got back to me quickly because, as you see, we're running out of days. The Hurricanes have re-upped their captain, Eric Stahl, who helped them win another Stanley Cup here in the season, during the season 4. Ooh, that might be good news. I got another phone, a third phone, because Hedman accepted to 8 years at 5 points, whatever I gave him, 6 something. So Hedman is locked up long term. And look at that available cap space as well, 14.495. It keeps going down because I have more contracts that are kind of, now they took away another phone. And they took away my phone again. Natanen renewed. Okay, they took my phone away because I got these guys renewed, but I got so much cap space to play with. It's not even funny. I could sign Patrick Kane to as much money as I possibly wanted to if he was a free agent this year, but he is not. He joined the Phoenix Coyotes and helped lead them to a Stanley Cup final appearance, not a championship. Landon Ferraro, we tendered these guys contracts, so they are now getting back to me. Whatever, I don't care about the trade block. We're going to go and see what's available in free agency. So now that I know how to look at RFAs, there is not a lot available on there's nothing here in the RFA market. So who reached free agency? That's my big question, Brent Seabrook. We've got our top pairing settled right now. I actually want to go look before I go side. There's a lot of defensemen that reached free agency, by the way. A lot of quality defensemen did reach free agency here. I got to go take a look at what I need because I got to look at my contracts and see what am I missing. That's calendar. So by forwards, we have our top 6 is settled. No question about it. Pacioretty, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 with Weiss. No, we need to get a couple of forwards. Well, Su Kai-Ming's going to be ready. I think Su Kai-Ming is NHL ready this year. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with Eller, 6, 7, 8 with Su Kai-Ming. Kamaev's an interesting one. But he might be an AHL guy and a call-up if we get injuries. So Su Kai-Ming, we're at, 8? So I need to go get a couple of other players. We might be able to ride with a couple of guys. We might be able to ride with Dale Weiss on like the 4th line. But if I'm going to go get a couple of 3rd and 4th liners, we got to keep it cheap. So I just want to take care of the forwards right now. I don't need Ryder. I would just like an 81 overall forward. Yeah, like a Dan Cleary. Or a Ryan Malone would work. Malone's 36, though, so I'm going to say no to that. Cleary's 37. See, the guys that reach free agency are getting pretty old. Lauri Korpikoski, I like that. But I'm looking for like 80s, low 80s forwards that can fill in as like a 3rd line wing option. We could go Greening or we could go Pouliot. Greening wants 3 years, but he's 30. That's not too bad. Pouliot wants 3 years and he's 1 year younger. Just keep looking here. Just going to keep looking. The money, obviously the money that these guys are asking for as we go down, it gets to be cheaper and cheaper contract offers. Poisty, yeah, we tried to offer him a contract and he didn't like what I gave him. Let's look at Colin Greening. Anything, I'm just looking for good skating forwards that can play physical on my 4th line and they can maybe occasionally, Greening kind of checks a lot of boxes here. He's physical, he's a decent skater, he's decent defensively, good, decent shooting okay shooting category, okay puck skills. I just need you to be like my 3rd, 4th line wing. That's all I need you to do, and I'm actually fine with offering 3 years to Greening. We might be able to shave some off the dollar value, but it's gonna be very little off the dollar value. No other team's really interested at the moment. I'm going to go $2 million for 3 years. We'll look at Lauri Korpikoski, another, good skating, good categories on Lauri Korpikoski, former Coyote. And what did he want? He wants 3 years? Yeah, he wants 3 years, a little more money value than Greening did, but I have the cap space to do this. So we need to just fill out that 3rd and 4th line. I could go and get purely 4th line forwards. Anybody that's down here requesting a sub $1 million deal to play maybe on my 4th line. Suave or Suave. Suave. You know what? Oh, look who it is. Chad LaRose, 34 years old though. And that's the reason we moved on from him. 34 years of age. Joel Ward also getting up there in age. Just a lot of guys getting up there in age. Bobby Butler. I need someone with like it would be great to have someone with like a 5-star physical category to play on the 4th line. That's really specifically what I'm looking for right now. There you go. There it is. Jordan Tutu. And he's okay defensively. He's 33. Let's do this. Jordan Tutu, come play for the Canadiens. So defensemen, are we good? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, and with Sanguinetti 5. See, these guys keep dropping off. They went from 80 overall. Sanguinetti and Beaulieu were 80 overall. They're now down to 79 overall. I got Weston, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. Maybe we go. I mean, I think you could play Weston. How good is he? I mean, I think he could play in the NHL on that bottom pairing. I really do. I think he could play on the bottom pair, replace Derek Engelland. But let's go see. Let me just go into free agency and just see what defensemen were available again. Is there a really good just bottom pair like a Babchuk, Anton Babchuk? See, these guys all want like 3 years. I don't want to give 3 years to a 32-year-old. Nicholas Grossman. Yeah, we'll just give it to Grossman. Either Grossman or maybe McBain. McBain's a good skater, and he's got a good D category. We'll go to, and his discipline's really high. We're going to go McBain. Well, let's go to Jamie McBain. 3 years, Jamie McBain. And I'll try to shave a little bit off this dollar value. I'm going to try $2.7 million to Jamie McBain to basically play on my 3rd pair this year. So that's a couple of offers sent out. I really would like to hear back soon from these free agents. We're not going after the big fish. We don't have a need for a big fish defenseman, big fish free agency. Oh my, I didn't think about goaltenders. Corey Crawford is on the free agent market. Please someone get back to me soon. And give me an extra phone as well. Oh, McBain didn't like it. We should discuss a higher salary. Okay, I can do that. Jordan Tutu, that's good. He's going to be the physical 4th line forward for us that can hit bodies and play a good game. He's got a decent D category as well, and the accepted offer from Greening as well. So we got to go back to Jamie McBain and revisit the table with McBain. Hopefully he doesn't sign anywhere else. He's way down there, so I'm not really worried about, oh, there's McBain. Oh, is it just us? Are we Vancouver's interested? So now I'm competing with Vancouver. I just got to give McBain the money. I just got to give him the money. I got to give him, like, I'm going to go up. You know, what if I come down just a little bit? $3.50 million. McBain, please sign here. I really need McBain. He's got the good discipline. Oh, no, McBain didn't sign. He probably signed in Vancouver. I guarantee you McBain signed in Vancouver. That really screwed me over. I should have just given him the money. We were competing with Vancouver for his services. How do I see it? GM options? Actually, yeah, GM options. So freaking pissed at Vancouver. If Vancouver signed him, I guarantee you, where do you see? Free agent acquisitions, Vancouver. McBain signing with Vancouver. Screw Vancouver. They got a good D-core there as well with Arneson. That really pisses me off. I got to go in the free. I got to go get a good defenseman in free agency. Babchuk is there. Butler, are you good? I just need a good, disciplined, good skating D. No. Really got screwed over by McBain. I really did. I should have just offered him the money. Breen was in our organization at one point, I thought. Christopher Breen. Nikita Nikitin. Decent. It might be Nikitin time. I may go Nikitin. I mean, his discipline's okay. Keaton Ellerby. I mean, there's just not a lot to choose from now. McBain was the guy I was settled on. Anton Babchuk. His discipline's high. Let's try Babchuk. He wants, I could give him the McBain money. The money I was going to give McBain. We're going to go Babchuk. I'm just going to go to Babchuk with 2.750. Yes, 3 years. My brain's already a melted mess doing this. So the Canadiens add their interest in Anton Babchuk. If we don't get Babchuk, and he does. Yeah, wow, that was a quick offer, or a quick accepting of that offer. So that fills us out at D, and we still got plenty of cap space to play with. And weren't we gonna get some? I don't know. We're just gonna simulate ahead through the offseason. Okay, so we're about to start the season, and here's the look at the progress reports and what happened to each player. So Babchuk is the only one that got better, but he was our free agent signing in the summer. Nathan Beaulieu got worse. That's great. So Beaulieu continues to drop off. Boychuk got worse. Are all of these statistical? How do I look at it? Boychuk. All of these, yeah, these are all negative statistical modifiers. So Boychuk got worse. Eller got worse by a rating. Ferraro got worse. Everyone on our team, just basically everyone got worse. Sanguinetti got worse. Subban, it says he had... he had statistical growth for Okay, so Subban actually got better, and he's back up to an 88 overall ahead of the season. So that's good news for us. AHL. Yeah, there's no attributes modified down here. But I'll take a look at... I'll show you the lines before we end this video, and then we go into the season sim in the next one. I have good news for us because... Well, actually, let me do this from edit lines. Su Kai-Ming is NHL ready for the first time. So he's finally ready at 20 years of age. He is ready to be the fourth-line center for this season. Those are preseason stats, so just ignore all of those stats for the preseason. Because we just finished simulating the preseason, and we're ahead of the season opener against the Ottawa Senators, which of course we'll get to in the next video. But here's a look at the way we line up. It's a little weak in that top six outside of that first line. It's just the way that it is. Until Su Kai-Ming comes up and starts playing in our top six, it's going to be a little bit weak there, but I can live with it. For this year, it's kind of a weird tweener type season for the Canadiens because some of these players are still growing. Kamayev is a big surprise. He's, again, how did we get Kamayev? 2013 second round pick, but he's just blossomed into an 80 overall, serviceable fourth line type player. Ferraro is still pretty decent. He'll be playing on the wing, I guess, fourth line time for him at a 78 overall. Tutu I signed in the offseason free agency just to be like my third, fourth line checking forward. So that works out well for me. We're not paying him a lot of money, I don't think we are. We're paying him. We're saving a lot of money by not paying him a big contract, so we're not giving him a lot of money. Greening, another free agent contract. Greening, $2 million for 3 years to play on effectively my third line for right now. Simon Hjalmarsson, the Swede, who is on a very cheap value deal and playing currently in the top six because, well, I don't really have any other choice. I wish Gallagher would grow. I was hoping Gallagher would grow, but he just stuck at an 81 overall. Maybe Gallagher's trade bait in the future. But yeah, that's just the way that we line up the 12 forwards. The defense looks like this. Hedman, Subban, Babchuk, Boychuk. I didn't. What a pair. And Nathan Beaulieu, who continues to just keep dropping off each season. He just gets worse. He's just getting worse and worse and worse with this team. Again, another player, maybe trade bait right there. And of course, Bobby Sanguinetti, who we signed in free agency last summer to fill out a spot on the defense pairings. We're waiting on Voivoda, the center that we drafted in the offseason. He went back to junior as I thought he would. The power play is going to look like this. So this is the power play, four-man power play. Penalty kill situations. I'm just going to run with LeBlanc at center this year. He just needs to play the center position, and maybe he will grow from that. So there's all the lines. Goaltenders, Price and Elliott. We return with the same tandem again. That, of course, didn't get us to the playoffs last year. So there you go. Oh, so it's a lot to do in one recording session to get over, but we are ahead of the season opener there against the Ottawa Senators. We will get to the season simulation in the next video.